Hi, my name is Max. My pronouns are they, he. I am a proud transgender man, LGBTQ inclusion consultant, and this is my very soon-to-be wife, Lori.
I'm Lori, my pronouns are she, her. I'm a television casting producer and fiancée to Max.
Soon-to-be wife?
Soon-to-be wife.
Very soon-to-be wife.
Really soon-to-be wife.
So for me, my association with King and Ellen was the Lucy Spraggan connection, and I really thought that you guys really specialised in this, and I really connected those two things in my head. I don't think there was any other tailoring brand that I would have thought, okay, these guys are a safe place for me to be, because that's the first thing that I think about. And this is, I talk about this a lot when I do this kind of content, is that as a trans person, before you go anywhere, before you travel, before you become a customer or a client, you have to think about your safety first, and you have to think about if you can be yourself in that environment. And if I see somewhere that's already actively working with LGBTQ people, the likelihood that I'm going to work with them just goes up exponentially. And then when I started having conversations and realised that I could be here and be comfortable and say, oh, you know, I want this to be done like this, or be able to talk about myself without having to hide my identity was really important, and particularly from a sizing perspective. And we have a lot of conversations about how, you know, I want things to sit straight, and how sort of traditional male tailoring doesn't always work for my body. So I really needed the flexibility. Suit is for the wedding.
The wedding.
The wedding. So
the wedding of the century.
When
Maybe
I
not the wedding of the
first
century.
started this process, wasn't entirely sure when we were going to be getting married, but quite soon after my first fitting, we booked Burr Island as our wedding venue. And Burr Island is an amazing Art Deco hotel. It's really well known for celebrities and Agatha Christie writing there. So it's perfect for our aesthetic and our interest in history and vintage. And because the suit was quite vintagey already, it just is the perfect time to debut it. So my style is a real mix of more modern and vintage. I think you are full scale vintage. Everything has to be completely on era. Mm-hmm. But my style is a real mix. So when
it's quite eclectic, isn't it?
Eclectic. It's a very complimentary word.
Yes.
Thank you. So when I was deciding, I wanted something that had a few vintage parts to it, but also was quite slick in terms of the cut. I wanted the cut to be more modern.
Yeah.
But there's also parts of vintage style that I really like, that I actually think work really well for trans guys, and actually just shorter people in general. So short king, I'm 5'5", 5'6" with my hair. And
what's the vintage elements that work well?
So a higher waist.
Yes,
for men's wear. So obviously, because I've got slightly bigger hips than most cisgender men, so having a higher waist means that it can sit more neatly and sit on my waist better.
That makes sense.
Also, a cropped leg or a turn up works really, really well because I'm shorter. So if you have it coming to the ankle, it elongates the leg a bit more. You think I don't know, but I do know.
You do.
So yeah, I wanted a real mix of vintage and modern, and I wanted a combination of things that I really liked about vintage style. But there are certain things that I really struggle with, like length and the boxiness of jackets. So being able to have those bits taken out, it was a dream to do it that way around.
But yes, I love your sense of style, and I'm really glad that you found somewhere that can, you know, but that you felt comfortable to go to, because that's always something I think about on your behalf as well. Because I don't want him having an experience that makes him feel uncomfortable or especially edgy or anxious. And I think even with something like suit fitting, I think more people than would admit feel uncomfortable with that experience, and kind of, you know, being able to express what they need and talk about bits of themselves that they feel insecure about that they might want, you know, to disguise a little bit. Yeah, and I just wanted it to be as pain-free as possible, like everything else that we're doing.
And it was.
And it was, which is great.
When I first saw the final suit, I loved it even more than I thought I was going to love it, which sounds really bad, but I think there was a small amount of anxiety of me thinking, you know, this has been a long process because I've had a lot of personal stuff going on, I've had a lot of gaps in between, so taking that concept from the beginning, and you know, I've been trying to explain to you for months how I've done it, and she's had no idea. So my own brain was going, I think I'm gonna like it. I think this is really good. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is beyond what I wanted. Like when you go to the hairdresser and you're like, I kind of want that thing that like looks a bit like this. That's how I explained it. It was very like, oh, I want this kind of thing and I want it to look like that. And it feels like King and Alan have taken that and conceptualized it for me, and that it feels really me and really personal.
I mean, obviously from my point of view, I think he looks fantastic. He looks fantastic in a suit and in tailoring anyway, but something that is so personal and literally made to your exact measurements. I mean, you can just tell the difference between an off the, you know, it and an off the peg suit. But the colour's amazing. He couldn't explain to me what I was trying to get. Like I said, have you got any pictures? What colour is it?
I forgot to take pictures, I was too excited.
So I literally, I mean, that's the first time
I did tell you about the detailing.
You did tell me about the detailing. It's so
the
flattering.
The detailing on the waistcoat I'm obsessed with. And then the lining as well, because I wasn't sure about the blue and green, but it actually looks amazing together.
It looks really nice.
And your wedding dress is blue.
It's just incredible. And I think we're going to look great. Obviously.
My overall experience has been so calm, and that sounds like a strange word to use for what is effectively a shopping experience.
No,
but,
I don't think it is.
You know, I'm a trans person buying clothes. I'm someone with an atypical body buying clothes for a really important formal event where it's really important that I feel really, really good. And we all know how much a piece of clothing can change your attitude. You know, you leave the house in the morning, you know that you look good and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna rock this. And that whole, there's never been a point where I've doubted that that's gonna happen, and it's just been really nice to put it in the hands of someone else and know that they understand what I want and that I can give really honest feedback. I don't know if it's a British thing or a neurodivergent thing, but I find it really hard to advocate for myself. I haven't had any of those moments where I haven't felt like I could say exactly how I felt and could just, you know, I know I could have just kept going and say, actually, can we change this, can we change that, and completely get it right. And that's been just really calming and really affirming and really, really nice, because I think so many people have a lead up to their wedding where they're just really stressed and anxious, and I haven't had any of that. It's just been really relaxing. And actually, when I do trans inclusion training, I remind people that the goal here is that people don't have to think about their identity in this scenario, because everywhere I am, I'm always thinking about the fact that I'm trans and I'm in that space. Am I safe here? Can I be myself here? And I've been able to not do that. I've been able to just be and be getting married and be excited and be buying a suit and not have to think, oh, well, you know, what if they want to do this, or what if this doesn't work? It's just been, it's been really relaxing and really affirming.
I think describing it as calm that's not strange at all, because I think things like this can be quite stressful for all the reasons that you mentioned, not just the transness and the queerness, but you know, the often you find when you're having things like this done, you do feel slightly uncomfortable to kind of express your needs and wants, and like it needs to be perfect, and I think you felt really comfortable with King and Alan throughout to basically be like, this is exactly what I want. Yeah. King and Alan as a company have allowed you to, empowered you to be able to express your needs and desires, because I don't think we feel like that enough in any scenario in life really, but this is really important, as you said, that you feel good, and when you look good you feel good.
Yeah.
And you've just had a really nice experience throughout, I think, which makes me very happy.
And as a creator, when I make content around style, particularly for, you know, assigned female at birth masculine people or non-binary people, the question always comes back to suiting, because it's not too difficult now to find like boxy t-shirts and trousers and things that you can get that quite straight silhouette, but people really struggle with the suiting. So it's going to be really nice to show them that actually there are options that exist and you can feel confident and smart. And a lot of the time people are going to, like, you know, their brother's wedding, and maybe they're not out to some of the family who are there, or maybe it's their first time seeing people since they've transitioned. They need that Dutch courage, they need that comfort. And it's just, I'm so happy that that's possible, and there's so many tricks that we can do to like make that happen. Thank you for a wonderful experience. Thank you for giving me something that I can get married in and feel like a badass and feel really comfortable. And
you can wear again
as well.
And again. I imagine I'm going to be seeing a lot of this suit.
Yes.
I'm more than happy.
And the
with that.
goal when we made it was to have it as 3 pieces that could actually be worn separately.
Yeah.
So I can just wear the trousers on their own, I can just wear the jacket on its own, I can wear the waistcoat on its own. And when I do a lot of speaking and corporate work, I can use it for that. And just a reminder to anyone who's watching this and thinking, that's not for me, it is. You deserve to have nice clothes, you deserve to feel good about yourself.
Agreed. You look lovely, by the way.
Also, high five you. No, you made it weird. Just your fist bump, really.
Do you have to explode it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.